Hello to all Cinemaster lovers. Hope you enjoy watching. Let's get started. The story of the film begins with a high school student named Lynn, who lives with her father, who convinced her to enroll in a higher-level school. Lynn was known for her excellence in mathematics and her exceptional talent in the subject. Thanks to her genius, the school agreed to accept her, but of course she had to pay the tuition fees annually. On her first day at school, she meets a girl named Chris, and they become friends. Chris was weak in mathematics, so she asked Lynn if she could give her private lessons because she didn't understand anything from the tutor's explanation. Lynn agreed and started explaining the lessons to her using school papers, showing her how to solve any math problem. Chris was very happy because for the first time she understood the problems. As the days passed, the first semester exams came, and Lynn discovered that the exam questions were the same problems she had explained to Chris. During the exam, Lynn feared that her friend would fail, so she decided to help her cheat. Lynn wrote the answers on the eraser, put it in Chris's shoe, and then they exchanged shoes. The plan succeeded, and Chris managed to pass. Chris later met her boyfriend, a classmate of theirs named Pat. When Pat learned about the cheating, he asked Lynn to help him and 5 of his friends cheat as well. He offered her 5,000 Thai baht for each subject if she agreed to help them. Due to her father's difficult financial situation, Lynn decided to take revenge on the school and agreed to help them. Lynn was also talented at playing the piano. She thought of an innovative way to help the students cheat using hand signals, similar to piano playing movements, since the answers were multiple choice. She invited them all to her house to train them on these signals. During the second semester exams, the students started using these signals, and indeed, they all succeeded. Later, Lynn decided to tell her father that she would start giving private piano lessons for money so she could pay for her tuition. At school, she meets a new student named Bank, who was as talented and smart as her, and was at the school thanks to a scholarship. Later, the school principal calls Lynn and Bank and tells them that the scholarship is for one student only. We then learn that Bank's financial situation is extremely difficult as he works with his mother in laundry. With the arrival of exams, the number of students Lynn wants to help cheat has increased, but this time, everyone was surprised that the questions were different for each version. The students felt nervous, but Lynn managed to act quickly. She signaled to the students holding Form A to use a specific number as a signal, then started solving Form A. After finishing, she exchanged her paper with her classmate Tong, who was holding Form B. Tong agreed to that because he didn't know how to solve anything, and so, Lynn solved the second model in the same way and sent the signals to the other students. After the exam, the principal summoned Lynn and Tong and informed them that there were suspicions about Lynn receiving money from students in exchange for helping them cheat. The principal decided to punish Lynn and revoke her scholarship. Meanwhile, Pat and her family meet, believing that their son's high grades are due to his efforts. His family decided to send their son to a university in America, and they also decided to send Chris with him, covering all expenses. Chris asked Lynn to help her pass the SAT, an international test that must be passed to enter American universities. She offered her 600,000 Thai baht in exchange for the help. Chris gave Lynn a book containing the questions that would appear on the exam. However, Lynn decided not to help them, remembering her father's words about integrity. But later, Lynn realized the time difference between Australia and Thailand, as Australia is 4 hours ahead of Thailand. She thought about traveling to Australia to take the first exam there, then sending the answers to her colleagues in Thailand. After thinking it over, she decided to agree to the plan due to her need for money to study abroad. When they asked her how she would transfer the answers from inside the exam, she said she would memorize them all. She suggested that they need an extra person to help and told them that the right person is Bank. But she doubted his agreement because he hates cheating. The next day, after Bank finished his work and prepared for the qualifying exam for the scholarship, he was assaulted by 2 people and taken to an unknown location. The next day, Bank appeared very tired due to the beating he had received and couldn't go to the exam. Lynn told her friends about her plan, and they said they were students who needed her help with cheating in exchange for a huge sum of money. Lynn agreed on the condition that the cheating would be done in a new and different way, suggesting the use of pens printed with barcodes containing the answers. She also told them that she wouldn't be able to provide the full answers and would only give them the keywords. Bank, despite his initial hesitation due to the pressure, agreed to help Lynn after remembering his dream of entering a prestigious university. They divided the answers, with Bank memorizing half of them and Lynn memorizing the other half. They agreed that Bank would be responsible for sending the answers via the mobile phone in the bathroom. Before traveling to Australia, Lynn told her father that she was participating in a music competition, so he agreed to her trip. On the night of the trip, Lynn and her friends gathered to practice the plan and determine their responses if they were discovered. During the discussion, Bank objected to the accusations made by one of the students that he was the reason for Lin losing the scholarship, which led to a fight between them. After the altercation, Lin decided to go ahead with her plan. Upon arriving in Australia, they were surprised by the change of the exam location, which doubled the tension. As the exam began, they succeeded in executing the first part of their plan, with Bank sending the answers via phone. However, his frequent trips to the bathroom raised the supervisor's suspicions. One of the supervisors discovered the phone with Bank, which led to his detention. Despite discovering Bank's secret, Lin completed the third exam. She felt nervous and couldn't memorize the answers, so she decided to turn them into musical notes on the piano. She pretended to be ill to leave the hall and sent the answers to her friends. When she finished sending the first part of the answers, the supervisors noticed and started chasing her. Lin tried to escape to the train station to complete sending the remaining answers, but she faced technical problems as her phone became slow and fell from her hands several times. Despite all the difficulties, she managed to send the complete answers after numerous attempts. At the same time, Bank goes to a chair and confronts her with a question. Why did you lie to him? She replies that she was afraid he would refuse to help her if he knew the truth. Her father becomes furious after hearing the story and leaves them angrily. During the exams, the students who are waiting for the answers become tense and start arguing with Lin because she delayed sending the answers for the second and third exams. Lin is under a lot of pressure, especially after discovering that the supervisor is still chasing her. At the last moment, Lin reaches the station and tries to send the answers, but she finds herself trapped with no way out. Despite that, she manages to send all the answers before being caught. Lin tries to pretend to be sick again to convince the supervisor of her innocence, but he didn't believe her and decided to send her back to the exam center. Meanwhile, Lin hides her phone in a nearby bag to get rid of any evidence. Later, the answers arrive in Thailand, and her friends there start using them in the exams. Bank is summoned for an investigation due to the discovery of the phone with him, and he faces severe penalties, including being banned from taking future exams. A representative from the Thai embassy appears during the investigation to offer assistance, but he tells Bank that his academic future is over. As for Lin, she decides to delete all the photos she has with Bank from her phone to avoid any evidence that could be used against her. After returning to Thailand, the university offers her a new opportunity to study, but she refuses to cheat again and decides to start a new life. During the interview at a new college, Lin admits that she has made many mistakes in her life and hopes that others will learn from her errors. At the end of the story, Bank receives a message from Lin, asking him to meet her at a nearby shop. When she arrives, she discovers that Bank has invested the money he received in a big project. Bank admits that he was expelled from school, but he plans to continue organizing cheating operations and offers her a new deal with huge amounts of money. Despite the temptations, Lin insists on rejecting the offer and decides to dedicate herself to studying and helping others learn, instead of cheating. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification button to get more new videos. See ya!